Have you heard of Lake Country, BC? Well, in this video, you are going to get the 5 best features about Lake Country, BC from a local and a real estate agent. My name is Stephanie Lafergie. I am a local Lake Country resident. I have lived here for 3 years and I absolutely love it. And I want to share with you 5 things that I absolutely love about my community. So yes, I am a little bit biased, but you're going to want to hear this. You're going to want to watch until the end because I've got a great story to tell you about why my community is so good. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you love hearing about real estate, dog parks, coffee culture, and just general family life stuff. So where exactly is Lake Country? It lies right between Kelowna, BC and Vernon. It used to be called Winfield when I was a kid, and the district of Lake Country was actually incorporated in May of 1995. But our history goes way back to the 1800s. And you can actually learn more about Lake Country if you visit our local little museum. If you get a chance, it's really cute. It's right next to 2 coffee shops, and it's also on the lake. There's a playground right next to it. It's adorable. But what you will want to know is that Lake Country really consists of 4 areas. It's Carr's Landing, Okanagan Center, Oyama, and Winfield. Let me show you. Okay, let me zoom out here a little bit. So as you can see, here's Kelowna, here's Vernon, and Lake Country is right in the middle. And I actually like to think of Lake Country as one big hill because at the top of the hill, you have views to the west, southwest, you'll see Okanagan Lake. And to the east, you'll see views of Wood Lake and Kalamalka Lake. If you go up Oyama, I'm taking you back to my geography class, but here is an isthmus, the little bar where it connects the 2 lakes, and you can actually drive a little sea-doo right through here or take your paddleboard through here. It's pretty amazing. And there's also an amazing bike trail that takes you all the way to Vernon called the Rail Trail. So that is a little visual reference of where exactly Lake Country is. I'm going to start with the most obvious feature of Lake Country, the lakes. Like I said earlier, there's 3 swimmable lakes, and there's even more if you're willing to go for a 20 or 30-minute drive. It is absolutely beautiful here. Expect lots of farmlands, wineries, and pebble beaches. It's a beautiful place to raise a family. So that is one of my favorite things about Lake Country. You'll find these little hidden beaches with rope swings that are so fun for your kids. There's lots of public areas for you to swim. There's docks, and you can paddleboard pretty much from June all the way into September. It's an incredible place to live. So it's also a quieter area of Okanagan Lake for boating. Sound travels so well over water, but in Lake Country, Okanagan Lake is just a little bit quieter, and you can boat in Kalamalka Lake and you can boat in Wood Lake as well. All of those lakes are swimmable. I would say that Wood Lake is the warmest lake. We often get algae bloom there. And Kalamalka Lake is the most beautiful lake. It actually means lake of many colors. However, my favorite lake to swim in is still probably Okanagan Lake, just because it's so big and deep, and it's on one of my favorite beaches in Lake Country, Pebble Beach. I'll get into why it's my favorite a little bit later. I love the coffee culture in Lake Country. That is my second recommendation, that you come here because of all of these cute little coffee shops. And that is also why Pebble Beach is my favorite, because it is close to one of my favorite coffee shops, Salty Caramel. They are a vegan cafe right next to the water. There's also an ice cream shop right next to it, which you can get gelato, French fries, hot dogs, and you can rent some boating equipment. Sorry, I shouldn't say boating equipment, but you can rent paddle boards and things like that. You can't actually rent a boat, but you can rent something to go on the water. So it's a great place to visit. Next, we have Beat. Beat is a great place to visit if you love your pastries. They have cakes, croissants, baguettes, granola, hand-painted chocolate. It is an amazing place to go visit. And it's right in the Turtle Bay Plaza. So you will find it close to Starbucks. Yes, we also have Starbucks in Lake Country. A lot of people move to a city unless there's a Starbucks. So you don't have to worry about that. We do have a Starbucks. And funny enough, Starbucks in that area, there's a rumor going around that they actually have a monopoly on espresso in the plaza. So Beat offers coffee and tea and things like that, but apparently Starbucks has the rights in that area to be the only one able to serve espresso. So you won't be able to find espresso in the Turtle Bay Plaza anywhere but Starbucks. However, they do have good coffee. That's a whole nother rant. Anyway, so Beat is in the Turtle Bay Plaza. I highly encourage you go there. My favorite thing at Beat is the cheesecake. We also have the Lake Country Coffee House, which is connected to the Lake Country Art Museum. So you can browse some amazing local artists while you wait for your coffee. They have some great snacks here. They have a lot of parking, which is really nice. I love their teas. That's probably what I would recommend. And it's just very cute, cozy. There's lots of little hidden corners where you can meet with a friend and have a great cup of coffee. The third best thing about Lake Country is the farmland and the wineries. I can literally walk to 3 different wineries right from my house. There's Peak Cellars, which is incredible for their pizza. They have beautiful views. I love their Pinot Noir. They also have some really nice rosés. And I think it's Tuesday night, they do a Pasta Tuesday where they have a 3-course menu. They bring in another local chef and they dish up some amazing Italian food. There's also Arrow Leaf, which I highly recommend for a picnic. There is Gray Monk, which is one of the oldest wineries in Lake Country. It just actually got bought by a bigger winery. It used to be just a small little family business. There's Ex Nihilo, which has some incredible wines. I actually had their wine at my wedding because I love it so much. It's called The Night. They also have a Midnight, which is even a step above, and it is an excellent wine, you guys, if you're into wine. I highly recommend it. 50th Parallel. If you are a foodie, you are going to want to visit this winery. This winery it's won awards. It's visually stunning, and even their cocktails are amazing. To this day, probably one of my most favorite cocktails was at 50th Parallel. It was a gin-based cocktail, and it's delicious. So if you love food and you don't have a tight budget, then I would recommend 50th Parallel. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I would recommend 50th Parallel. My favorite wine there is also their Pinot Noir, and they have a delicious Chardonnay. They often do live events as well, so it's a really fun place to visit. And if you want something a little bit more casual, there's Blind Tiger. Blind Tiger is a great winery if you're more into like that rustic scene. They've got outdoor seating, there's chickens running around, and they serve up pizza, which is incredible. They do it out of this little trailer, and their pizza is really, really good. Now, if you want to go visit some farms or pick some fruit, then I would definitely recommend Rose Hill or Gatsby or Gambles. These are some great local family businesses that offer just some wonderful experiences and memories. Gambles has a little playground for your kids. Rose Hill actually has a store, and they are often running community events in Lake Country. It's really an amazing community. And Gatsby is more in Oyama. They have an adorable little store where they serve up morel mushrooms to fresh fruit, your orchard picks, just some great local products. And right next to Gatsby's are another 2 of my favorite businesses that I'm just going to highlight if you're visiting Lake Country, and that is Pedigo Bike Rentals. They're an amazing electric bike rental company, and their bikes can handle the trails and whatnot. And the couple that is there, they are just lovely. And then you also have Panavino. If you love pizza or you've been to Italy, this pizza is comparable, let me tell you. It is phenomenal. And again, a locally owned family business. So you have a chance, go to Gatsby Farm, get some snacks, go for a bike ride, and come back, have a piece of pizza, but don't forget to swim in the lake. This is the life we're living here, people. It's amazing. I love this community so much. My fourth favorite thing that I love about Lake Country is the community, safety, and family fun. And I know I've kind of touched on that a lot, saying community, 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 but it really is one of my favorite things about this town. We have Easter events, we have all sorts of community events that you can participate in, depending on how involved you want to be. I signed my daughter up for swimming lessons in the lake, which I thought was so cool when I first moved here. Every spring, summer, fall, I get the activity guide. There's things like learning how to make a flower hanging basket with moss, to sound classes, to classes for your kids. There's even an option to drop your kids off for Friday night so you and your spouse can go out for a date. It's just a really wonderful community to be a part of. In fact, when I first moved here, I moved here from the city. I remember visiting one of the local farms. I had a low flat tire and he actually filled up my tire with air, sent me to a local business, tell him that I sent you there and he'll take good care of you. And sure enough, it was incredible service. And I just felt very cared for within my community. My daughter walks to school every day by herself. It is an incredibly safe community. There is very low crime. And overall, it's just very family focused. The average age in Lake Country is around 42. So lots of young families are moving here and it's just growing more and more every day. The last thing that I'm going to say that I love about this community is how close it is to amenities without actually having the hustle and bustle, the crazy traffic, and it's just chill here. You're never going to find yourself stuck in a traffic jam or having to wait in line for something. It's not too busy, and you can go to Vernon, which is 20 minutes north, or you can go to Kelowna, which is 20 minutes south. And both ski hills, so Silver Star is under an hour away and Big White is about the same, which is so nice for the winter activities if you're into snow sports. And if you want to go to the lake in Kelowna or you want to go to the lake in Vernon, again, those are only like 20 to 25 minutes away. So I really like that I have the feel of the accessibility of a big city, but I'm really a part of a smaller community. It has that small town feel and safety, but it's not so small that I feel like I'm in the sticks, if you catch my drift. If you like this video and you're curious about other communities in Lake Country, check out my latest video on the cost of living in Kelowna. I also have some great property tours of homes in the community that you might want to see. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Stephanie Lafergie. I'm a realtor and mortgage broker here, and I'm so thankful for you. So if you like this page, show me some love, and I'll see you next time.